Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Free on Steam. The game we're taking a look at today is called Dragons and Titans. Well, what kind of game is this? Well, it's a MOBA style game, but quite a bit different in some regards than most MOBA games I have played. For one, your characters are all mounted on dragons, which is fairly interesting. There's different types of dragons, and we will get to look at them in a moment. One thing that I actually was surprised about when I started taking a look at this game is the amount of variety there is to the game itself. Because not only is there multiplayer arena style battling, there's also a story mode, which I think might only be 3 acts long. I have completed the prologue and one of the first acts. And when you actually complete this first act, you unlock a new dragon type. So that's actually fairly neat. As you see, there's multiple chapters to the first act, so it can take quite a while. 10 chapters in total. Different amounts of stars you can earn on each one. I have only earned 1 star. The stars are earned by getting different objectives met. With this first one, there's finishing the stage and finishing it in a certain time limit, and then beating it with certain types of dragons. Then there's just completing it on different difficulties. Second stage, pretty much same thing. Now, the story mode, I guess I'll actually take a look at the first one again. And when you start to do either a match or the story mode, you get to pick your dragons. You get 3 dragons when you start off. They're random, you get eggs, and they hatch from the eggs. I think I'll go with Blood Thief this time around. Last time I used this guy, and he is a very, very slow guy. After you pick your dragon, you get to choose a weapon. I only have 2 available. This Unity Mark and a Cruel Barb. I think I'll go with Unity Barb. Or, not, I'm combining them. Unity Mark. Alright, so Act 1, Part 1. Redoing it all over again, just for your benefit. So when you're doing story mode, you get these random objectives in order to advance the storyline. In this particular scenario, we are killing crows, which are attacking this village. And as you kill things, your dragon levels up. You always start at level 1. And when you get enough experience points, you get a point to spend on one of your abilities, either for your dragon itself or for your weapon. Now, the controls of this game are fairly simplistic. Shift makes your dragon move forward, space makes it move back. Alternatively, you can right click and your dragon will move forward. Your main attack is either left mouse button or Q. Your abilities all have a mark above them. The third ability is simply just buffing your dragon's stats. I'm just going to go ahead and buy a weapon ability. Now when you beat enemies, they drop gold, which you can take back to your horde, which will give you more experience points. Let's move on. So flying backwards is actually a pretty key part of this game because you can attack enemies that would be normally chasing you, but since you can fly backwards, you can still attack them while you're running away. You do move a little bit slower when you're moving backwards, though. And as with any story-type mission, there is cutscenes to focus on objectives. Now, this dragon that I'm fighting actually spits acid and it stays trailing in the sky, so if I were to fly into the fog after fleeing, I would take more damage. Let's buff some of the basic stats. And let's use the weapon's main ability. This particular weapon summons a large spinning disc. Oop, I am going to die because I got way too close to all that. Fortunately, this particular dragon... Oh, there we go, I died. This particular dragon has this ability where when you attack, blood droplets will sometimes form, which you can use to give yourself a small bit of healing. And when you die, you drop all your gold, so best to avoid death. There we go. And by the secondary ability for the weapon, this one gives me a slight bit of defense, I think it was. Let me check that. This one gives boost team's abilities, increasing damage output. Okay, increased damage. Honestly, almost just as good. Then whenever a character is speaking in the game, it'll pop up right here and let you know what you need to do. But I have a full sack of gold. Fortunately, there's a way to go back to your hoard very easily. This home spell. Increase my abilities once more. Unfortunately, you can't just warp back to where you were before, which is a little annoying because you have to take the time to fly over there again. Oh, bunch of crows. You wouldn't think crows would be that big of a problem for a dragon. However, these are evil-fueled crows with murderous intent. Yeah, get it? Murder? Murder crows. I'll shut up now. So, this is pretty much how the story mode works out. It's fairly nice. You get some more... Let go. You get some more just small amounts of cash and experience. It's not much more to it than that. Upgrade my main attack again. And head home, get some more experience from the gold. And we'll come to the end of this particular story mission pretty soon. Because fortunately I remember exactly where I need to be going. Kill some more crows. I'll take the health back. Now sometimes in your story missions you'll encounter items that you cannot destroy. In this case, spinning balls of death. And I took a lot of damage there actually. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. Oh, barely. Of course now I am in trouble because I am fighting some more crows at very low life. One of them dropped a health buff, that helps a little bit. I think I've got my secondary ability, which is a stealth ability. Which can allow me to run away and regen if I need to. And now we get to fight hordes of crows and trees that shoot death at you. Very effectively, I might add. God dang it, the crows push me away. Okay, I need all these health pickups because there's a second tree somewhere nearby. There it is. And activate this ability. I should be invisible? No. I'm dead. Well, that's unfortunate. Fortunately, they allow you to respawn and have the ability to attack, which isn't helping very much because there is far too many crows here for me to deal with. I don't actually care too much about being this story mission again. I've done it before, so it's not much benefit. Especially since I'm taking far too long and am way past the 5-minute mark. Alright, let's see if I can just take this thing down very fast with a combo of weaponry and stat boosting. No, I cannot. No, I win. Well, I managed to beat it. So now the only goal for me is to just go back in and turn the mission in, and I am finished. Continue. I win. So that's how the story modes go. And before I get onto the multiplayer, let's talk about microtransactions and the settings of the game. As you might notice, there has been no sound or music this entire video so far, other than my voice. This is because this is the option for your volume settings. On or off. No other options. Quite irritating, honestly. You would expect there to be at least two other settings, like high, medium, low, and then off. But I turned music off because the music was quite loud and very hard to concentrate over. And then the first time I went to a match, I was met by a sound that was overpowering despite my computer being only on 25% volume levels. So yeah, the settings menu, not very polished. What about microtransactions? Surely there's that in this game if it's free to play. Well, there is, as it happens. Microtransactions are not actually able to be found anywhere on the screen. However, when you go to these menus where you can get new dragons and such, you can pay with either crystals, which you can earn just by playing multiplayer games, and story missions as well, though smaller amounts from the story missions, or by spending $5 real life. And for that you get 3 dragons. You also can upgrade your dragons, though I think you need to have multiples of the same type to upgrade. So here it says 2 more and I can upgrade. This one says 3 more and I can upgrade. I have one of these blood dragons. Let's see. Then in the alchemist shop you can buy these potions, which are actually only for PvE, which is quite good. This means you can't really just buy in slightly more advantageous position for the game in PvP. There's also bundles that you can purchase, which these are items used at the Tool Forge area. And they all cost $1 each. And weapons, you can buy a 3-weapon pack with 2,500 crystals or with $2 real life. There's also these war marks, which are tokens you can use at the end of a multiplayer match to increase the amount of crystals and experience you get by doubling it. And yeah, they get to be pretty high in price. $75 to get 1,000 war marks. I'm not sure if there's very many people that are going to buy that. Let's go back to the weapons, because there's one thing I have not actually done yet. Let's see. Face of Revenge. Interesting. I know I have that. Let's see, where's my blade? Ah, here it is. See, I ended up getting 2 of these in my first pack, so I kind of got gypped on a weapon. But you can smelt them, and you'll get a random assortment of gems / metals. So we'll do that. We'll see what I get. That's not how you smelt. That's how you smash. But I got some moonstones, some titan tears, a couple of dragon scales, some mage steel, and 25 crystals. Fair enough. And I can use those to upgrade my weapons with the forge. Now, the forge screen is actually very complicated looking, but from what I can tell, the way this works is that you can choose to spend these crystals and gems going on certain paths for your weapon. And the goal is to get the gems and stuff that feed into these towers, which will increase the stats of your weapons. So like over here, you get a 1% cooldown when you have that weapon equipped. This one reduces the mana cost, and they extend quite far. And it doesn't look like anything is too advantageous. It's all 1% that I see. So I'm guessing at most you might be able to get 10% in a category. I'd have to actually take the time to look around and see for myself. Let's spend a few of these tokens, gems, whatever. Aha! So when you spend it, it activates a timer, and it'll take a while before it actually finishes smelting into that one. Or you can spend a mage steel, or forging it, excuse me, to finish it now. I might as well do that since I have one. And then I can start creating other ones, and I don't think I can do multiple at the same time, can I? Nope, I can. Okay, so at least you're allowed to do multiple at once, so it's not like you have to wait 4 hours and then you can start up another tier. Alright, so let's leave the forge then. And we'll take a look at the multiplayer aspects. Now there's Proving Grounds, which is your basic tutorials for the multiplayer stuff. Then there's Battle Above. This one lets you go straight into a PvP match, which I will be avoiding because I am horrible at every type of PvP game. There's Advanced Training, which puts you into a situation where there's bots on your team as well as on your enemy team, and you don't really get anything for that, but the enemies are way weaker. There's Team, which you have to have friends to play, and Single Player, which is just you fighting against the enemy with a team of enemies. So there's 3 different game modes: MOBA, Capture Points, ARM. I don't know what ARM stands for, but it's similar to MOBA except it's just a single lane. So kind of like a tug of war. Capture points is similar to domination type game modes, and MOBA is MOBA. We will just go with a basic MOBA. And now I can choose one of my dragons. For whatever reason, I'm able to choose between all these dragons, even though I don't have any of these unlocked. Though technically I do have Magma Scale unlocked. Let's see. I haven't used this one before at all, so let's give him a try. Actually, I really do like this dragon. This dragon is like a living tree. And when you pick dragons, it actually gives you a recommendation for what weapon goes best with that dragon. So for the Bone Dragon, Direbone, there's this Gore Fist Flail. For Tanglewing, there's the Elder's Branch. For Heartstone, there's no recommendation. Sea Stark recommends Stormcaller. Let's just go with this guy, because I actually really did like him the first time I tried him out. And we will go with the Staff, because it's a fun weapon. And let's go. And before the match, it gives you a little bit of heads up of what you are facing for the enemy team. And the game pretty much goes exactly the way you would expect one of these to go. Now what's kind of interesting is the way this works out. This is called the Titan, and it is actually the enemy team's Titan, and what they are trying to do is free it from its cage. All these chains are actually linked up to different structures around the map which increase the Titan's shield. That allows it to, well, makes it much more difficult for them to free. And here's the first set of dragons, and they are taking out these elemental towers, which are pretty much just there to do damage to the dragons. There's also creep-type enemies. See, I happen to be on the team that is more evil aligned, so we have bats and like little demon creatures flying around. And let's get this point spent right here. They have angels and eagles for their allies. And activate my secondary ability. This creates a tree which protects any dragons that are in it from damage. And the tree doesn't go with you, so it's a pretty fair ability, I would say. The staff shoots these little seeds which slow down dragons that come in contact with them. And I accidentally backed up instead of flew straight at him, so he got away, but I think he still died. And an important thing to note is that in the MOBA style game, you can actually pick up gems, which will show up on the map. So you don't actually have to spend any money to get gems to upgrade your weapons, you can just find them while you're playing multiplayer games, which is pretty awesome. I think I managed to pick up 3 before I started recording this video. Let's see, upgrade this ability a little bit further and increase my base stats some. One of our obelisks is under attack. I think I'll just collect this gold that my allies left laying here. There we go. So the initial goal that you will be doing when you're doing the MOBA style stuff is to take out the enemy towers and obelisks, because doing so makes it easier for you to actually take out their end base stuff. And you have to destroy the towers before you can destroy the structures. So it's a pretty interestingly balanced game. And I have to give them props for doing a pretty good job of making it a very fair game. I don't really see any way you can pay to win this game other than, buying enough stuff to upgrade your weapons very, very fast. Which, in the long run, doesn't matter too much because anyone who's playing completely free will be able to acquire the same weapon upgrades over time anyway. Let's see, it looks like they have destroyed one of our obelisks so far. Let me grab that gold. Now you'll notice that in this game type there isn't actually any teleport home button. You can, however, equip different items before you actually join the battle. And one of the ones I got for free is a recall scroll, which has a cooldown of 180 seconds. So it takes a long time before you can do another recall. Let's see, what did the fifth one do on this? Oh yeah, little health potion. I also got for free a quick healing item, which doesn't really heal you for too much. Regain 150 plus 15% of your max health. If you didn't notice, my max health is 2,370. So 150 is pretty much nothing. Alright, break down this lightning tower, and I will take the gold from that. And I think it's got one more tower. Yes, it does. And I am going to die because I did not remember which button to press to send out the slowing things. Oops. There goes a lot of gold. I think you might also get experience over time. I'm not exactly sure. I think you do in one of the game types. One or two of them. Let's see. This big battle going on over here. Let's drop a tree. Keep me safe while I hammer away at this guy. Increase my stats just a little bit. Throw out some slowing spores. And heal because I need it. Oops, it's actually right there. I need to touch it to heal. My mistake. Put up another tree to keep me safe. I think the tree actually heals you a little bit too. Yeah, it does heal you a little bit. So it's a good tree. Definitely good for team-based stuff. This guy, I have no idea what he's doing, but we're inside a bubble of some sort. I think it's increasing health and mana regen. I'll just follow him along because I'll be stronger while I'm with him. Here, have a tree to hide in. Take out these creeps quick, and then we can take out this obelisk. My tree actually died pretty fast in that fight. Can't hit us, we're in a tree. I'm going to focus on the obelisk for now. I like how the attack of this particular dragon does homing attack. He's inside of the horde area. You can't attack anyone who's inside a horde area in MOBA mode. Which is another thing that makes this game pretty balanced and fair. Let's increase my stats again. I'm actually taking a lot of damage from that. I think I'll need a tree for healing. This dragon is definitely focused on being a healer type. It's not a significant amount of healing, but any little bit to keep your dragon team lasting longer definitely is going to help. That's another obelisk. I'll take the gold for myself. And we will teleport back. Cash that in and return to battle. We have one more structure to take out before we can free our Titan from the enemy. We're doing good. Oh, enemy Titan shields are down. They did it without me. Oh, good job, guys. So that means we only have to destroy the Titan shield, or cage, which has about 5,000. Oh, wow. They decimated it. The Titan Astaroth is free to rule this plane for 100 years, but there are other planes and other battles still to be fought. Let's continue. So at the end you get some experience points, which are used to increase the level of your Dragon Lord, which is the guy that rides the dragon, crystals, and then you can use a War Mask, which I might as well, War Mark, I might as well use that, because I have it. And then it gives you a recap and tells you what you've done and all that fun stuff. So, I have now ranked up. A new rune slot has opened up for me. And I got a free War Mark. So, yay. You also get free War Marks just by leveling up your Dragon Lord. Pretty cool. So, what do I think of this game overall then? It's fun. It's a MOBA game that isn't really that frustrating. It's pretty well balanced. The microtransactions are not really leaning towards pay to win. I mean, you can boost yourself ahead of other people for a while, but you're not going to be staying there forever just by dumping more money into the game. So, that's going to be it for this episode of Free on Steam. If you're interested in MOBA style games, I would recommend giving this one a look. Especially if you enjoy dragons. So, hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care, and goodbye.